sipping on the Inkies, the same color as Chronic. All black like Mabel, chairs, ladders, and tables. Hardcore, young, fully young, with a bad bitch like Sable. Raccoon City, downtown, hipster bitch, but a ass round. New Balance dragging on the ground like Sergeant Slaughter, I'm camo down. All my dogs in black Civics, me and my dogs with classy bitches. Cartier frames, clear lenses, that means no limits. Keep my teeth glossy, lace me up with Versace. Gold chains from a swap meet, I'm a prophet like the posse. That ghetto D, all about that Getty Green. Baby bottles full of that fucking lean. Dreamcast on the fucking screen. It's 1999, got the Lexus riding clean. Gold BBS is nasty, popped up on the scene in the back with the.
So, this past weekend, y'all, we had a lot of wrestling go on. A lot of wrestling. So, hey, so one of y'all kick it off. What stuck out to you this past weekend?
The thing that stuck out to me the most, and I think is the biggest story, and I think we'll go into that a little bit later because I want to address some other things first, but the biggest story has to be Sami Zayn winning the title. I mean, I literally said, oh my God, when he won, because I didn't expect it. I mean, I don't think anyone, I mean, I'm happy, but I didn't expect it.
I called it. I called it
You
from the
did.
jump.
You did.
You,
You did.
my
But
jaw hit the floor and just stayed there for probably a good few minutes, and I'm just wondering, wait a minute, did that just happen? Forget the fact that Sami Zayn won the WWE Championship. Congratulations to him, but he pinned Cody in the process.
yeah, that
A
too.
clean pin too. It was a clean pin.
Clean
No,
pin,
nothing
yeah.
dirty.
And
I
there was
mean,
a lot of,
just the fact that they pulled the trigger on it is what gets me. That's the surprising part.
and there were a lot of clean wins. There were actually a lot of
I
clean
think
wins at Night of Champions.
I think pretty much all the Night of Champions was clean, which was a shocker to me,
Yep.
especially with Jay and Oba, because I expected the Bloodline to come out. I expected Sammy to come. Oh, I'm sorry, not Sammy. Solo to come out. It was a clean one-on-one match, and when you have Jay Uso and Oba family in a clean one-on-one match, then you get the result we got. Um, which that whole over thing with Brock and how they're doing this is a whole other discussion I want to get into also because the way they're
Definitely.
doing it is just stupid. If you're going to do all that, if you're going to have Brock come out and punk him out and not have him challenge for the title of SummerSlam, why even have him win King of the Ring?
That part.
Yeah, WWE has once again booked themselves into a corner, and I I try often. And y'all know me. I definitely try to see some whatever logic I can come out of this, or maybe something they know something we don't know, but I
Maybe
got
they do.
nothing here.
But
No,
here's the
this
thing:
screams TKO.
it's a
This screams
corner they didn't
TKO.
have to book themselves into because there's a reason we didn't think Oba was going to win because of all this, because of Brock. All they have to do is, I mean, as great as it is, the Oba family is King of the Ring. Don't let him win. Book someone else to win. Have Brock interfere. Screw him over. You got your storyline. You got your match. Because what's
Well, I
the
mean, so
point
like,
of winning if he's not going to challenge for the title?
see, the thing is, and I had a couple of days to think about it. Brock, Oba and Brock could have had Monday night the way they had Monday night. All you had to do was just that one caveat, like you mentioned, have Brock interfere to keep him from either going to the King of the Ring finals or keep him from qualifying. And you
Simple
still
as
could have
that.
did the promo Monday night where and Oba actually called him a coward and a B word to his face. And then Brock comes out, he does all that, boom. Same, you get the same result because we knew it was going to be Brock Oba 3 at SummerSlam. We was just wondering how would it get there, but to y'all's point, him
And
winning
the
King
way
of the
it got
Ring
there was,
because what was the main selling point for both of the King and the Queen of the Ring matches? The winner gets a title shot at SummerSlam.
and you could have given that. I mean, especially since we've got Sammy winning the title, you could have let Jay win it, and then have Jay versus Sammy and go from there. Because Sammy
And
needs a
it still let
strong.
Sammy keep the title, you know.
Yeah. Sammy needs a strong first title defense to show that he is worthy of being a champion. So let him beat Jay
Yeah, and that's for the
because Io is going to
women.
beat
Okay,
Liv.
yeah. And I'm glad you went into that, but because as far as the women, you already had Liv Morgan as world champion, so that was really pointless to leave her in the tournament, let alone put her in the tournament in the first place. Now, credit to Pierre for calling that Io Sky won said tournament, but you're just giving us an extra match between the two, which again, and this is not to say that it was a bad match because Liv Morgan versus Io Sky, they killed it out there. It was
They
an
did.
incredible match, but we're getting it. But it's basically you already kind of know what's going to happen. Now, as far now, I can understand that there are injuries all abound, but even then, there's really no excuse to really have Liv Morgan in the tournament.
Well, I think it's to build up to the storyline of the collapse of Judgment Day because Raquel is feeling some kind of way, I'm sure, because she didn't win. Roxy is being kind of pushed to the side, and all signs point to Roxy turning on Liv, but we had Lyra turn on Bailey, not the other way around. So it could be Raquel that turns it. We don't know, but someone's going to turn on somebody, and we're going to get a breakup of Judgment Day. And I think Liv being in the finals is going to be part of that story that leads up to that. The fact that Liv made it and Raquel and Roxy didn't, and she's already a
Well,
champion.
this is what I think. I mean, I don't think it was necessarily a bad thing in retrospect to keeping Liv in, just because of the fact that now we really hadn't seen a lot of one-on-one between Liv and Io. So now you're planting doubt in Liv's mind that she can beat Io after this. Now, granted, she was cursed for the
Yeah,
match. Yeah, she got cursed, and so that made her believing in the curse may feed into Roxy and Raquel turning on Liv. So, and now Judgment Day becomes cursed because was cursed. Now Liv. So you see where I'm going. So
yeah,
maybe Dominic gets cursed next. He loses the AAA title,
yeah. I can see that happening too.
and
Mhm.
then so now you're getting this
Well,
whole
does
downfall.
the curse carry on to AAA? Like in WWE world, or is it just strictly on? Because Don was cursed before
Well,
he lost the Intercontinental belt, but he's kept the
but see, he
AAA.
never defended that other
Well, yeah.
title while cursed. You see what I'm
When was
saying?
the last time
So
he defended that belt?
That's a good
was
question.
it was it May or late April? One of the two?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I thought he defended it against somebody.
I think he beat Finn Balor to retain it.
Yeah, I think they're giving him like that Hulk Hogan booking where he defends it like maybe 3 or 4 times a year.
Well, I mean, that is Undertaker doing the booking, so um I mean, but we did have one dirty finish and it kind of made sense with the Jay and Tiffany Stratton. There was interference in that match and it was to be expected. So you kind of see what's going on. Like I had said that
Well, it wasn't
this and
disrespect. I didn't expect Tiffany to retain. I will say that.
right, yeah, I think we all got that
Yeah.
wrong. We all expected Jay to win the U.S. title. Um, but I think with this, I had said that I felt that the King of the Ring or the King of the Ring, Night of Champions, and Saturday Night's main event was all storylines to set up
Set up for
SummerSlam
SummerSlam. Yeah, exactly.
because you got to put on 10 matches because lately PLE has only been 5 matches from WWE. And
Well, it
since they're
was
doing 2 nights, you got to have 10
yeah, you had six in this one. Not that that really mattered, but
Yeah,
or
and if you
six,
got
right? Yeah.
5 or 6 a night, for both nights of SummerSlam, you got a better chance of actually having a good show and not rushing everything, trying to fit everything, in one night. So hopefully it works out to their benefit.
I think it will work out in their benefit. Now, of course, we're going to be talking more about Oba and Brock, how that fits into the equation, but as far as the format, there hasn't really been that's not hasn't really been an issue. It's just some of the matches and how some of the storylines have been inputted. So that's really not an issue.
Yeah, because especially given how this past Raw happened and the
Yeah.
different things that happened on that past Raw, it kind of left a weird, yeah, I hate to say like a weird aftertaste. It's just like, what's really going on here? Like, what are we really doing? Because you had so many elements that you thought were kind of locked in, but now they're kind of all over the place. So that's why I'm wondering if this is TKO stepping in and say, "Hey, we got to make sure we sell SummerSlam, so we got to have this
If you
and we
want to
got
sell
to have
SummerSlam,
that."
then stay the hell out of it.
That part,
Let Triple H do the booking. I mean,
and
SummerSlam sells itself. Just stay out of it. Don't ruin it like you did WrestleMania.
and
We could,
hold on, let's knock on wood, no more
Yeah.
celebrities other than Yachty, and
Oh
Yachty didn't even
Lord.
need to be there.
mm-mm. But
Um,
oh my gosh,
but what? So I know we talked heavy about WWE, but of course we had NXT, we had TNA Slammiversary, and we also had Forbidden Door in AEW. So, um, I mean, you knew the match I was going to be excited for, which was going to be Swerve um, versus Osprey. But if you looked at that Team MJF versus Team Briscoe
Now
match,
that was a
good
good match.
Lord,
I
oh
expected to be
wow,
crazy, but I mean, Nintendo's and the clothesline with the
man.
controller and the big turn at the end. Yes, I was waiting on that. The big turn at
Hold
the end.
on, but also don't forget the man in the bag, Leo Rush.
Oh man,
I was going to address
oh
that.
man,
He's
he went
just
out there
been
and he ran through the whole team. That was so funny.
Yes.
we got to give this guy his flowers. This guy is just absolutely performing time and
Yeah,
time again, and it's like he's. It's like the more you see him, the more you want to see what's he gonna do next.
yeah. I'm
And
glad
Right.
he's getting more exposure, especially big time exposure in a high profile match like that. Getting to have and he was in the Stadium Stampede match too. So he's getting a lot more exposure, and I'm happy for him because he's got a ton of talent, and I don't even think we've had a chance to see it all on TV yet. So yeah, I'm
And
happy
he's the
for him.
current ROH television champion, isn't he?
Yeah, and
yes, and
he's got a black belt now. His belt is black, the
all the way
ROH TV
black.
belt.
Oh,
They
And
pulled
wow.
we
yeah
haven't.
Okay.
they
And this
pulled
is
it
a
out on Dynamite during his
yeah.
match, and it was a black belt.
Oh, I
And
gotta
this
see
is the
that then.
type a kind of character we've never seen him as. We've always seen him as the 23, 24, however old piece of gold. And now he's doing, and he's just like a demon monster type of character. And he can just use his smoothness around the ring and just all kinds of, just everything. He's got more talent than we really know. And this character really, truly allows him to express it. And man, it's just it's a beautiful. It's almost like it's pure art.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
want to say this real quick.
when was the last time we've seen a character? Go ahead, Clint.
No, go ahead, because I'm going to jump to another subject. So go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, when was the last time we've seen someone go into an insane type character like to this extent? Like we've maybe seen a character come in with something like that, but not someone who switched to that to this degree. I think we've seen some, I mean, rest in peace, Bray. We kind of saw that with
I
with
mean,
his
I guess
character, but
Bo. I guess in a way, Bo Dallas.
he kind of sort of, but
Yeah,
Bo.
but
Well,
I
the thing
mean,
is, no, it's like Bo was Bo, and then all of a sudden he showed up as Uncle Howdy, not a transformation like we seen with Leo per
but
se. You
that's
know what I'm
but
saying?
Leo did the same thing. One minute he was regular Leo
Well, yeah,
Rush,
you're
next
right.
minute
You're right.
he's this.
But
But
still, shout out
I,
to Leo though.
yeah, it's been
This
a
is
while
great work.
since anyone turned like that. But I want to do a quick rundown because I want to get to my favorite match of the weekend. So, Zaria versus Tatum Paxley, banger. Lola Vice and Kendall Gray, banger. The women showed out at NXT.
I'm shocked
Kenny
that that
and
was the
Zack
main
Sabre
event.
Jr. Kenny and Zack Sabre Jr. Like I expected, banger.
Gosh,
That
right.
match was a lot more personal than I expected to be, but that was a good match. The Death's Door match, we talked about that. At Slammiversary, Moose and um, Kenny,
I know you're
not
talking about.
Kenny,
I can't
Eddie
remember the
Edwards.
name, but
Moose and
yeah,
Eddie
for
Edwards, a
the
no
for the
surrender match. That
got
was,
his wife and son involved in
yeah,
the match.
wow. You know what?
That was
I was
crazy.
kind of expecting them to go the ECW route and just outright power driver or something like that, but I think that would have been too much. With their partnership with WWE, I don't think they're going to do that, but I'm pretty sure they thought about it.
Well, I mean, Tommy Dreamer probably would have had a bigger
Well,
say
Tommy
so had he
Dreamer's a
not
lot of
left.
trouble these
So
days, so I'm
yeah,
sure
that's
he
what I'm
would.
saying. Like his departure before Slammiversary kind of maybe
Yeah.
put a kibosh on some of that stuff they probably would have pulled.
And I'm not even going to address Shallow Hill and Tristan Angels and that whole thing under the ring because that was just kind of it was different, but it was like what the hell?
all over the place.
Yeah. So we got through all that, all great matches. Will Ospreay and Swerve. Man,
My
that
God.
match exceeded expectations, and our expectations were high.
That was
That
hard. That's
match
hard to. That's always
exceeded.
hard to achieve that. Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I saw that much blood pouring in a match.
I hate to say to go back to like Britt Baker and what's her name
Yeah,
when the
and
that
it
was a lot
wasn't
of
just
blood.
blood for the sake of blood. It was a good
Right.
match. It added to the match. It did. It wasn't just gratuitous violence. It added to the match because they went out there and murdered each other.
I
They
mean, they made
truly,
well. I mean, the promos they were making it way personal. Leading up to it. So
But even if you were a brand new fan coming in, let's say I had never seen AEW, never seen the promos, didn't know the story, whatever. I just came in and saw this match, and this is a good match. If someone has never seen AEW, show them that match. But that match didn't need I mean, the story added to it, but it didn't need a story because it's told its own story. But that was just, and it wasn't just a spot fest. It wasn't just a bunch of stuff that made sense. They went in and wrestled their asses off. I think that is probably going to be the match of the year.
I'd
that's a
like to see a
definite
bit.
candidate.
If there,
Unless
if any,
unless unless Osprey and MJF top it all in, I think that's going to be our match of the year.
well, good luck to that because man, I mean, what can you say about that match that hasn't been said? And there was a lot, and I was actually impressed with the emotion that was shown after the match, especially John Moxley kind of letting, and he kind of did a little bit of this on Dynamite as well, just letting them know, hey, I'm proud of you. You've really stepped your game up. You looked me in the eye. You said you were going to go out and do it, and you did. And next thing you know, welcome to, well, congratulations, you're the newest member of the Death Riders.
Right. Which I kind of saw that
So,
coming too.
is this going to be a setup eventually to maybe All In next year or something like that, to where we're going to have that turn? Well, I mean, All In is in London, right?
Yes.
All in
I'm
is
thinking of
in.
double or nothing. I meant.
And
Yeah.
see, I get mixed up because that's all. I thought All In was the next one. All In is in August, is it not, or is it September?
That's London. That's the London show, right?
Yeah, but when
Yes.
is
And I
So that's
believe
what I
it.
mean. Well, I meant for next year then,
Yeah.
for like double or
And
nothing.
also, NXT and AAA are supposed to have a couple of shows that same day. So,
yeah, they're trying to go head to head with All In, and I'm like, why?
But you notice is kind of almost a throwback to the Monday Night Wars, where it's like it's not directly opposed to each other, but it's kind of like staggered. Like you might get NXT for an hour or two before the AEW show comes on,
Yeah, but
or
it's
something. But it's still kind of that. Like I think this is Triple H is like we acknowledge we know who you are, and
acknowledge.
we you're coming. Yeah, acknowledge, but we know who you are, and we're trying to make sure to let you know that we're still number one regardless.
Well, it's Monday Night Wars light because it's NXT,
Yeah,
and it's not even black and gold NXT. Even with black and gold NXT, I think AEW was beating them for a while.
I believe now it was that was kind of 2.0, but either way, uh, look, as a fan, and maybe this is probably not the way, and this is probably like an unpopular opinion, but hey, it was a great weekend of wrestling, and that's going to be another great weekend of wrestling. So, hey, I'm up for it.
And what I could say, it was something for everyone. So it was a
basically
lot.
because depending on your level, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, if you're a hardcore wrestling fan and you try to watch every show, you try to watch the whole weekend, it was a bit much. It was a daunting task to try to watch everything. I don't even think
Mm.
we caught all of every show, but there was something for everyone. So I wouldn't mind another weekend like that. Maybe don't have four shows in a whole week in one
Oh,
weekend.
no,
Maybe
no, no.
three.
Not that much.
Good gosh.
Maybe TNA can book their show another time or whatever, or NXT can book another date. But I wouldn't mind having two or three shows in a weekend, just to have that wide variety. That buffet, so to speak, of wrestling.
Right.
it's not too much. It's not like you have to catch it all day. You have to watch something all day, and then the next day you have to catch probably like the next two shows. You got all of it in there, and you enjoyed yourself. So hey, so I'm looking
Well,
forward
we
to.
also live in the age of technology where you can watch it pretty much anytime you want on demand. It's not like the Monday Night Wars where we had to flip channels back and forth or record one show while you watch the other, or go back and watch the replay, or however you did it during the Monday Night Wars. But you can just watch anything anytime you want at your own pace.
Yeah, I mean, things just feel like this though. Even with all the wrestling going on, if you dedicate times like when football season comes, you'll spend all day Sunday watching
Yeah.
football games. You'll spend all day Saturday watching college football games if you're into college football. So, I mean, when you have those rare weekends where you have that many shows, you can still dedicate your time to a degree using technology when there's an overlap, but still be able to say, okay, this is gonna be my wrestling day.
But the difference with football is, okay, you've got Monday night, you've got what Thursday night on Amazon Prime now,
Mhm.
Yeah.
college football on Saturday, NFL on Sunday. That's 4 days. Wrestling is Monday through Saturday, if we count Collision, and that's if there's
Well,
not
I'm
a
just
WWE
just
Network.
meaning like the specialty shows, like the
Yeah,
PLEs, pay-per-views, whatever you want to
you
call it.
got Raw, NXT, Dynamite, Impact, SmackDown, Collision. That's 6 days right there.
Then, of course, if you have like Roku, you have
Yeah, that's not even
NWA,
counting. Yeah, New Japan, if you have access to that,
New Japan,
Evolve,
right? Yeah.
NWA, MLW. That's a
Yeah.
lot. I love to get back into MLW, but I just don't have it. And AAA, I just don't have the time. I got
Yeah.
to catch it, just in bits and pieces when I can.
Yeah, man. Speaking of Evolve, and I hate that we didn't acknowledge this again. Congratulations to Nikita Lyons, the new women's Evolve champion,
I
and
mean, you gotta celebrate thickness when you see it. So,
absolutely,
I mean greatness. I'm sorry, slip of the tongue, if you will.
you said what you said.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, shout out to her. But given what's going on this past weekend, how do we see this transitioning now to what's going forward? Like, okay, like with NXT, you kind of see what's been going on with our girl Jada, knowing that at some point she's gonna get called up to the main roster. Lola possibly, after her match.
Definitely.
And then of course the fallout from the Night of Champions and Slammiversary and things like that. So how do you see a lot of these matches, or how is this playing out going forward?
But I mean, I guess we'll have to wait to SmackDown to see what they're going to do with Sammy, because we don't know who his first opponent is going to be, who he's going to face at SummerSlam. Um, if
I
he'll
have a
even have a
theory.
match
I
at
don't
SummerSlam.
like it, but I have a theory. And if
Theory,
he
you have a
does the
theory?
open, if yeah, I
Oh,
have a
oh,
theory.
okay. I was going to go God no.
Not
No,
that theory,
no,
Flipper.
no, I have a theory, not Austin
Okay,
theory. No,
no, no, no, no.
damn sure,
No.
no, no. No, I'm hoping if Sammy does an open challenge, I can see what could possibly happen. That means Brock will come out, destroy Sammy, because what has Brock done on SmackDown like at least 4 times when it came to the title?
So
He
you're
can't.
saying Brock over Hell in a Cell for the title?
Yeah,
That would be interesting. I personally think it's too soon to put the title on over, but if they're going the Brock route, if they're having him mirror Brock's career, that would be right. Win the King of the Ring, win
because
the title at SummerSlam, that would be right. He beat The Rock, so sure.
Because Brock was in the
Retire him
company,
and win
boy,
a
Beat
title
what,
at
him
the same
six,
time.
clean.
6, 7 months?
You know
I
what?
mean,
If they do it that way, then the whole King of the Ring thing makes sense.
right.
That would make it make sense because he could destroy, which poor Sammy, but he would destroy Sammy, take the belt, say, hey, you got a title shot. You want to cash in on me? And Oba's going to, of course, say yeah, and he beats him in King of the Ring, wins the belt, and retires him. That's 2-1. That's going to shoot him into superstardom. So yeah, but poor Sammy.
I mean, I just be honest. I think Sammy was going meant to be a transitional champ anyway, but for who
I
was
mean,
going to
not
be
that
the question.
transitional. I mean, good lord, you got to
Well,
give him the Kofi treatment.
Lord, no, let's not go there.
let's put it like this though. I mean, I think it was a internet people sentiment of Sammy needs the title, just like how Daniel Bryan. We wanted Daniel Bryan to have the title, you know, because let's put it like this. Even though we kind of didn't want the triple threat, who did most people really want to have the title out of that triple threat?
Sammy.
Maybe Gunther, maybe, but most everybody wanted Sammy. And I feel like that was kind of like a relentless. You make the people happy that he got the
Which
title.
they sure as hell didn't react to it. The
They never
reaction
It's
so
not
really
far
not as much as we
sucked.
thot.
I
Well,
mean, no
Saudi
one
Arabia
got any
hardly
reactions from it.
hasn't had great crowds at all.
Yeah, no one really got any reactions. I think Oba, they chanted Oba, they chanted whoop that trick. Other than that, I think Sammy and maybe EO got decent reactions. Cody, did Cody even get a reaction? They
Yeah, he
sang his
did. I
song.
mean,
That was
Queen
about
came
it.
out. Remember, when we saw that, like
Yeah,
they sang the song, definitely.
I mean that was about it.
Uh,
I mean, it was that crowd was kind of,
I mean, it
but
goes to show that the European crowds and the Puerto Rican crowds are way better when it comes
so
to
much better,
the
so much
vibe.
better.
I want to go to one of those events.
If I was in, I'm sure the people in France or Italy are pulling their hair out, going, really? You know what? That title win should have been in Montreal. They would.
Exactly.
What did I say?
Oh my God.
I said if Sammy won title in Montreal, we would have felt the vibrations in Memphis because they would have literally torn the roof off. They would
And
have
happy
Exactly.
exploded.
and happy belated Canada Day.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's right. It was yesterday.
yeah. So that would have made it even better. But going back to what you're saying, if they are going to take the belt off Sammy this soon, then they give him time to build himself back up. Maybe win Money in the Bank or find some other way to get into the main event at WrestleMania next year. Because I said that the best place for him to win that belt would be at WrestleMania in Saudi. The second best would have been at Night of Champions because again in Saudi.
But again, my thought that's just a theory. So, but again, it seems like WWE is regulated to treating the King of the Ring basically like a Money in the Bank. Cash it in, whatever at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
It's almost like when John Cena made his comeback in '08, wins the Rumble, then uses his WrestleMania title shot in the next pay per view. Yeah,
I'm hoping this is a one-time thing and they don't do this with any future King of the Ring winners.
let's not do that
Right.
I
anymore.
think the idea is that it's Oba, so he does what he wants when he wants, but no one else is going to be doing. They're going to take that title shot at SummerSlam, but because also they're not going to have Brock or some other feud going on, their focus is going to be on the title.
And notice what we haven't talked about. We hadn't even talked about what the world title match is going to be at SummerSlam, which is Seth versus Roman
Yeah,
finally.
that came out of. I mean, we knew it was coming, but that came out of nowhere.
And
I mean, you could have
I
had Seth win the King of the Ring and then challenge Roman. I would have been cool with that.
I'm actually excited about that because the storyline is already well built. And the fact that he brought up the whole this could be our last chance to go against each other and whatnot. I didn't know what to think about that. I'm iffy on that, but but it's not to the point where I'm concerned. They're gonna put on a banger of a match, and and I have a feeling the promos good promos are coming. They're gonna make it personal.
just make sure there's no interference in this match. Let the
Yeah,
Usos,
yeah.
let Jacob, all
Just
that, let
focus
them
on the
stay to
history.
the side.
Just
Let
focus
let
on the
them
history.
two, because Seth brought
And
up the good points. Roman has not beaten Seth yet
What?
so
solo.
he's probably going to beat him. I will
Right.
say this though, as much as I love how they keep digging back in the past, how I love how they bring up the Shield and everything that's happened since then and WrestleMania 40. I hope this is the end of it. Like if they're gonna have this match, I want this to like close the door. Roman beats Seth, and that's it from this point forward. He closed the door on that because that was what 10 years ago.
Yeah.
If you're going to have this match, have it mean something. Have it close. I'm not saying I'm tired of hearing about it because, like I said, the whole lore of it is awesome. But if you're going to have this match again, have this closed door and be it.
Mm.
Have the
I
match mean
mean,
something.
but I mean, to Seth's point that he kind of mentioned in the promo, you see the future coming.
Yeah,
And I think that's what's going to kind of lead this to be that final match, just because of the fact that they're both, he recognized it, and Roman subtly in other promos before this kind of acknowledged the youth movement that's coming.
yeah. Plus, I think this is
So
going to kind of lead into war games also because I keep having that prediction where Seth is going to be part of a war games team against the Bloodline. Um,
so you think that'll be like LA Knight and Solo
I said,
and maybe
actually,
one other
no.
person?
My prediction was that Solo was going to eventually join the Bloodline. So it was going to be LA Knight, Royce Keys, Seth, and the Street Profits against the Usos, Roman, Jacob, Solo, 5-on-5.
But you got the interesting caveat of Tamatanga and Talatonga basically telling Jacob, "Hey, we're no longer part of the MFTs because the
So that
elders
just
told
means
us to leave you
that
alone.
that
The
that
elders
just
told
means
us to leave you alone."
yeah, that just means they're going to go off and do their own thing. Which I've always figured they were going to do the traditional kick out where they jump him. They just left. Well, I think they're going to go off and do their own thing. They kind of tease something with Finn, so maybe, maybe not. But I think they're going to do their own thing. It would be nice if we had more Tongans, but TKO had to go do their budget cuts. But I think they're going to just kind of do their own thing, and Solo's going to be alone for a while, and eventually he's going to come back because his
I
whole
mean, I think he turns at Survivor Series. I think he's in the match Survivor Series against him at first, and then he uses that to turn to join the Bloodline again. Because
I mean,
LA Knight is kind of leery of Solo right now.
yeah, but LA Knight also, like I said, LA Knight sees what's coming. LA Knight has called it. He says you're going to end up joining. Solo is saying, yeah, I'm not, but LA Knight has said it to Adam Pierce. He said it to Solo. Yeah, I see what's going on, and you're going to end up joining the Bloodline because right now Solo is going based off hatred and emotion, but what happens when that hatred and emotion fades away and blood kicks in because it's going to come at some point. If Roman is serious about changing the kind of person he is, which he has changed the way he treats Jimmy and Jay, he's even changed the way he's treated Jacob. You would think he would treat Jacob like a lapdog, and instead he's showing respect to Jacob and letting him be the weapon he can be. So Roman has changed. So maybe he will change and actually go to Solo and apologize and welcome him in. I mean, I think they're going to play somehow where by the time we get to War Games, Solo is going to be part of the team. I think he'll be the last person to join. It'll be a shock. It'll be at the last minute, and he's going to join.
I mean, I can see that. I mean, I guess Punk coming back to join would kind of be the other shot as far as being on Seth's team, even though they notoriously hate each other, and that's not even kayfabe. They
Yeah.
they really don't like each other.
Hmm.
But something I've noticed about Solo, for the past all this time he's been with the MFT, he hasn't really not said anything about the bloodline. This has been, hey, I'm focused on our family. I'm focused on the MFT. Now we're getting promos where he's talking about how much he hates the bloodline and why he hates them. We're getting into the meat of that matter, and I think because they're going to resolve that story. And I think Triple H is building a real saga, there, a real soap opera. There's going to be a lot of emotion involved, which is something we hadn't had in a while with WWE.
True. And I think that's the one thing that maybe TKO hasn't put their hand in. Right now, they're letting Triple H kind of cook that story. But
Yeah.
I do see they may have had their hands in other things.
I don't know. Stick with the Danhausen stuff. Let TKO handle Danhausen because I mean they can't mess that up. They can't. Wait, tell me they can't mess Danhausen up.
They haven't yet,
They'll find a
so
way. They'll find a way. But I will say I'm anticipating that crowd pop at Saturday night's main event
Oh,
at
I
Madison
cannot
Square
wait.
Garden when he comes out.
I
I
can't wait.
oh boy.
That reaction he gets should have been the reaction Sammy should have got in Saudi.
Man,
I'm
man.
already calling that.
I tell you, they're going to crown him King of New York when he gets to Madison Square Garden. They are going to have confetti fall from the sky. Like Jim Cornette, like I said, they're going to be throwing babies in the air. You know, dude is like a hero in New York.
That Biggie Crown shirt that they did of him,
Man,
that shirt will be sold out
Like
at the venue. I
hotcakes.
already
which
know it.
is I hear it's coming soon to a handful of tights as well as some other shirts. There are going to be a lot of Danhausen King of New York shirts available. And while we're talking about handful of tights, that shirt Andrade had, I don't think I can repeat the words on YouTube about Don and MJF, but yeah, they've
Whoa,
got that shirt too. It's already on there.
Really? Hey, so it sounds
absolutely.
like everybody needs to go to a handful of tights and grab that merch.
Absolutely. A
Because the
lot of them
Because
best way to
why,
win
Curtis?
is with a handful of tights.
yeah.
That's right. The best way to win is with a handful of tights. So, I mean, let's just think about it like this, fellas. Where do you think we are in wrestling as far as do you think we're now entering that long talked about new golden age of wrestling? Because it's been hinted at over the years that there's a wrestling renaissance going on, but I think this week past weekend may have shown that we may be truly entering in that second golden age of wrestling at this point.
So I think it would have started around WrestleMania, the build up to WrestleMania 40, um, because you had so many moving parts and like the Rock said, wrestling's cool again. They were selling out every arena. Everyone was back watching it again. The storylines was good. Everyone was focused on the bloodline. They were focused on Cody. They were focused on The Rock. And then after WrestleMania 40, it kind of dipped down again, and Cena turned heel. It's been a steady build where it was up for a while, then came down, then it came up for a while. The Cena thing was promising, then it became a flop. I think anything since WrestleMania of this year has been an improvement, and I think we're starting to get back up there. I think SummerSlam is going to make the difference.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be very important because remember at how we were feeling after day one of WrestleMania, and then then next thing you know, fans everywhere are on their knees praying for better, and we got it to their credit, and for day two, and they haven't dropped the ball, they haven't fumbled. Now, as far as certain storylines, Brock Oba, we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. And we've only gotten like the foundation. So how will they build on
Yeah,
this?
Oba and Trick helps because they are very popular. Trick has gone mainstream. Oba is on his way there, and Javon I think is going to be next in line. So I mean we're on the way there. I was out somewhere recently and some kid looked at me and raised his finger up, and it took me a minute to realize, oh, I'm wearing a Roman Reigns shirt. Okay, so we're getting back to those days where every time you go out you see a wrestling shirt. We're coming back to it slowly but surely.
Well, I mean, but that's just from the WWE standpoint. I'm thinking just wrestling as a whole,
Well,
because now
like we
you're
said
seeing how
before,
AEW is coming up. You're seeing TNA doing some things to the point to where even wrestlers who are leaving TNA are like, I don't necessarily want to go to WWE. I'd rather go to New Japan or I'd rather go to AEW, that type of thing.
or even MLW. You
Or
know,
yeah,
who just uh, Eric Young just asked for his release from TNA. Who knows where he'll
but
end
I
up?
heard
Mm.
he said that they said he may be going back to NXT to be a player coach, kind of like Sean Spears.
Okay, so he's pretty much. Well, I guess he's winding down his career, which sounds about right.
Yeah,
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 but there's also some other people who might be coming back to WWE. I'm hearing Baron Corbin might be coming back.
yeah, I've heard that.
Um, I heard Zilla is supposed to be signed at some
Yeah,
point, sometime
I've been
soon.
hearing that for a while, so I'm like, when? Maybe SummerSlam, maybe who knows?
I
Maybe
can't
some
wait.
random Raw.
I
Even
can't.
Enzo and Cass are supposedly maybe rumored to come back.
Yeah, I heard that too. The rumors about Enzo had been going on for a while, but I heard Cass was finishing up, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean that's why I feel like that's why I said like maybe we're entering that renaissance, that golden age where it's kind of like you have. I mean, granted, yes, we do have a lot of options now, but I think a lot of people are now really partaking in those options. It's one thing to have options and you really don't pay attention to it because you like what you like, but I think now people are starting to dip their fingers into other companies or to become more familiar with New Japan, especially with AEW bringing over like Shibata and Okada and things of that nature, and people like him. And then you have Evil coming to NXT now.
Yeah,
And it's supposedly there's somebody who is in New Japan now who is supposed to be coming possibly to NXT. Just being signed. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but there's a possibility that he may be helping out Evil get the
okay.
NXT title. So I mean, you have, we're getting. I mean, it's definitely getting more exposure, but of course, WWE is always going to be the leader in that.
And all that's all well and good for wrestling fans, but what are they doing to bring in new fans? New Japan did an excellent job, with bringing in new fans with the Bullet Club. That was the biggest thing since the NWO. But what do they have planned now? What is AEW doing to bring in new fans? AEW is awesome for wrestling fans. They have the wrestling fans' attention, but what are they doing to bring in new fans? What is going to be the attention grabber? WWE has Oba and Trick. What's going to be the attention grabber for AEW?
Yeah, because MJF can
Danhausen.
only do so much.
Yeah, and the
They
fact that
had Danhausen and didn't use him yet.
the fact that AEW had Danhausen and didn't get nearly as much out of him as WWE did. Even in their first night.
I should
That's
have.
true.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a real interesting time. This summer's gonna be real interesting. I mean, what's to come? Gotta wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, we've touched on quite a few things as far as what we think is things going to be going. Um, but to you guys' point, I think tomorrow night will really tell the tale where WWE is going to be going for the rest of this year, I believe, because that's going to determine SummerSlam, and of course, SummerSlam will determine what's going to happen going into Survivor Series and into the Rumble next year. So I think this is the first domino
Yeah,
tomorrow
exactly.
night.
Yeah.
But and before we go any further, hey, I just want to send a shout out to anybody who's watching. Hey, be sure you like, subscribe, share the video, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. And of course, always get the merch handful of tights. So, because
The best
Best
way to
way to
win
win
is with a
is a
handful of
handful of
tights.
tights.
of course. But what else do you guys are feeling right now as far as wrestling? Whether it be a match, whether it be a company, what have you?
I think we have pretty much touched on everything, and after this week, I am mentally exhausted. Uh, and now I got to re-energize for SmackDown because we start over again.
Yeah, I mean, it was a wild weekend of wrestling. It was very exciting, but yeah, you can only have so much energy left after 5 shows in two
Exactly.
days.
Yeah, I'm exhausted, but it's a good exhausted. It's like when you've been on an awesome vacation. It's a good exhausted.
It's
or
one of
you went
those
to
like the weekend went by fast, but you didn't mind it going by fast based on what happened
Yeah.
because the weekend was a blur. I'm not gonna even lie. It was a straight up blur starting Friday night all the way through to Sunday night. It was just a blur. But it's like, you know what? I may have lost the weekend, but did I really lose the weekend?
Exactly. I don't feel like I lost a weekend. I feel like I had a weekend.
Right.
yep.
But you guys let us know. What do you feel about what happened this past weekend? All 5 shows that happened, basically. Be sure to leave a comment below and share with everyone else. But for the fellas, as always, where you can always find us. You can always find us ringside right now. Holla at y'all next time. Peace.
Turbo vet, sir, mix a lot, I get a lot of butt. You're really gonna get a lot of ass. I'm pulling up to your damn spot. You tapping out, I'm Shamrock. Titantron, I rip it down. It's the big show that you can't stop. Nasty riding this.